right, so here's the problem with being the closing keynote. You always run out of time at these things. And so I will do my best to get us out of here in 15 minutes, I promise. I fully realize that I am the one thing between you and being done for the day. Okay? That is not lost on me. In fact, I want to go have some wine, a nice little dinner. I can finally relax, right? I mean, a 15-and-a-half-hour flight to get here yesterday. I've got a 15-and-a-half-hour flight tonight going home. It's all for you, folks. And while we're clapping, let's give Shai and Tal and Olha from Congress Geeks a huge round of applause. Throwing an amazing conference. I am so happy to be here. I got to be here in 2019 for the first one, and I told him I will be at every customer conference that you can put together, whatever it takes. And this time it took 30 hours of flight in a 24-hour period. All right, so I'm going to have to skip a whole bunch of stuff. I am happy to hop on Zoom and talk through it with anybody individually afterwards. Please connect with me. I would love to talk, but what I'm going to talk about is why we need to lead, not manage, and why it matters. We heard a lot today about the Great Resignation, and this is legit. Just from the other day, March 22nd, that's a week ago, 44% of workers currently employed consider themselves actively looking. And we're in a whole new world right now. And that was just, like I said, a week ago. And then over half of the workers say salary, getting paid more. And Perry talked about that this morning in one of the earlier sessions, that typically speaking, people want to make more money. Sure. But I'm going to walk through a couple of reasons why maybe, first of all, you can't just always pay people more money, right? You got to come up with other outcomes that people want to accomplish with their time working at your organization and working on your team. But before I get to that, lead versus manage. I wasn't really sure what the difference was. I've been a manager, and I like to think of myself as a leader. And so I started to dissect this. And this is, let me see, bear with me. It's all the way over here. Grace Hopper is her name. She was born on December 9th in 1906, died January 1st, 1992 at 85 years old. Grace was one of the first Harvard Mark I computer programmers. And that's what you see there is one of the first computers ever made. She was a pioneer in computer programming. And if you look in her hand there, anybody ever heard of COBOL? Yeah, right? She invented that stuff. That's what we're talking about. And in fact, it was called Flowmatic back then, which sounds like something you would cut your hair with. You know, the old Flowbee. I don't know if you guys had that over here, but that was a thing in the States. We do weird stuff. But anyway, and this is another fascinating thing about Grace. She actually invented the term debug, and it was because she found a bug in the computer. That's actually where that came from. Isn't that nuts? I thought I was crazy. I was like, this is unbelievable. I got to share this with people. But Grace famously said, you manage things and you lead people. And then she talks a whole bunch of crap about the United States Navy, which she was in forever and has all the right in the world to say. But that's the point. You manage things and you lead people. And I'd love to slow down so you guys can take better pictures, but I can't. All right, so the definition of management right there. Controlling things or people. It says it right there in the dictionary. And if you look at leadership, it talks about leading a group of people. It's about the act of what you do. And so at its core, management is about control. It's about controlling something or someone or your team. And leadership is about action and leading by example and what you actively do. But that being said, it ain't all bad. There are times where we need to manage. So it's a little misleading, the name of this keynote, Lead, Don't Manage, because you need to manage. And in fact, from Warren Bennis, a widely regarded pioneer in contemporary leadership studies, in short, managers cope with complexity and leaders cope with change. And so to summarize this, and I'm going to have to move real fast here, folks, so bear with me. Long story short, the too long didn't read. If it's tactical, you want to manage it. If it's strategic, you want to lead it, okay? So there's sort of, and the winners are the ones who can do both, understanding when to manage and when to lead. So some examples of management. Let's see. individual contributors, customers, your leadership. You hear about managing up sometimes. Also, other things you need to manage. Product enhancements, voice of the customer programs, customer success functionality in your practice in totality. You have to manage all that. But from a leadership perspective, that would be more like the vision, the direction, exemplary leadership, right? Leading by example, etc. I think you get it, and if you don't, I don't got time to find out. All right, now we're going to move through everything else. This is one thing I want to point out that you can go and download. So on our website, that's a unicorn, by the way, if you couldn't tell. Success coaching, we do training and education in customer success. And on our website, you can go there, you can take a picture of that URL, and go there and download our customer success competency model. And it's an 89-page PDF, completely free, and it takes 5 core skills and divides them up by attributes for both a junior CSM, a senior CSM, and a leader. And I had grand plans of walking you through a few of them, but that, of course, is not going to happen. You could also go to successcoaching.co, not .com, .co, and you can hit resources, and you'll see it right there for the free download. Please go check it out. What we created was a complete competency model that is divided up. We call it the cheese wheel. We've got 5 main disciplines around the inside there: emotional intelligence, people and teamwork, behaviors, drive, entrepreneurship, and strategy. And then we've got 18 core skills around the outside that are all categorized by each of those main disciplines. You put that together, and it's one good-looking piece of pizza. All right, so all of this, I'm going to skip. I am down to 9 minutes. I swear, I'm going to get you out of here at 5:30. So there are the 5. I was going to break all those down. It's totally cool. I get it. I don't want to be here holding you, boring you, putting you to sleep. I mean, you're awake. You're just super, super comfortable. But here's basically what it looks like, right? Empathy. So we break down one of the skills underneath, where was that? Emotional intelligence. And we have individual contributor, senior, and leadership. And I would encourage you all, that's the word, to go and download this and use that guide to assess yourself as a leader as well as your team at the various different positions and levels of experience that you have. Now, the next slides we are just going to completely skip because there is no way I can go through and do this. This is nice. I've never been able to do a keynote where I can literally just push a button. This is like the easiest keynote of my life. Thank you, Shai. Okay, my point is you can do it. You can assess yourself. You can assess your organization. You can even assess your customers along these lines, because at its core, customer success is about the people. And it's all about human behavior and actions and mindset. And so please check it out. Do all of that. This is what I think I have time. Yeah, we got 7 minutes. Time to go through. Why do we work? Why do you work? Why does your team work? Why does anyone work? Typically speaking, when someone wins the lottery, they don't continue to do their job. They get to resign, and they get to go move and do whatever they want to do with their life. And so work is a means to an end. It's not something, that's why we retire. It's not what we're made to do. Hopefully, you all find something that you're passionate about like I have, and hopefully you're as passionate about customer success as I am. It has literally changed my life finding this industry. Personally, professionally, in every regard. I'm in Tel Aviv, for crying out loud, right? Yeah. And so what I like to do is take customer success principles and apply them inwardly. So we talk about this formula a lot with our customers. Their definition of success is their outcomes plus their experience. But if we change that to teammates' success, teammates' desired outcomes, teammates' desired experiences, and we focus that inwardly, I was able to actually do this. And if you want to see a whole keynote on this, you can find it on redslacks.com. Red Slacks? Get it? Redslacks.com is my personal site. It's all the free stuff. This will be on there. Anything I ever do publicly in customer success gets posted there. I did a virtual keynote on this in 2021 at another customer conference, and I basically have summarized the outcomes on the next few slides. And that'll give us 5 minutes left to wrap this thing up. So, first off, we're talking about desired outcomes of why people work. First off, safety and security. That's number one. This is money, savings, retirement, 401k, benefits, right? All of that is lumped into safety and security, okay? Number two, future planning. So what this constitutes is career growth opportunities, leadership opportunities, networking opportunities, recognition amongst my peers, being a thought leader possibly if I want to do that. So for example, I might accept less money if I get to be the head of customer success the first time. If I never was able to break into that role, and now I get to build a CS organization from scratch, like I did, I took a 30% under market value pay cut because I could build the practice. I could grow this customer success thing at this startup, right? And so that came into future planning for me, and it had a big part of what has me lucky enough to stand in front of you today. The third would be social impact. So this is social purpose, reputation, ethically in line with what I'm trying to do in terms of making the world a better place. Again, I might accept less money if I'm making the world a better place. No one joins Greenpeace to get rich, right? So there's your 3 teammate desired outcomes, and I am sure that is not all of them. That list came from a brainstorming session on my porch over some wine with my wife. Not exactly scientific, just one guy's ideas, okay? But I want to get your wheels turning about you and your team and people who report up to you and people you work with. So then the question is, all right, so there's the TO, there's the outcomes. Now let's talk about the TXs, the experiences. And again, I might accept less on the outcome side if I get the things I want on the TX side. So the desired experiences of how we work. So we already talked about why. Now let's talk about how. First off, logistical operations. We all had to switch from in-office to 100% virtual. And now some are going back to hybrid. Some companies are pushing people back into the office. We've all found a new way of life. Some of us love it. Some of us want to go back. It's totally up to our individual humans that we work with and ourselves. So this is time, location, flexibility, consistency. Is every day predictable and consistent or not? Some people want it to be. Some people don't. That's fine. There's no right or wrong with any of this stuff. The whole point is to think about it intentionally, again, for ourselves and our teammates. Okay, number 2, rules of the game. How will I be held accountable? What are the goals? And are they clearly communicated to me of what I am expected to do in order to be successful in this role? Is it fair, or do the goalposts change? Do I feel like I can't ever really get on top of what I'm supposed to do in order to get that promotion or that raise or whatever the next step is for me? And then are there status checks along the way? So I know how I'm progressing towards that. 2 minutes. And then finally, corporate culture. And this is really a personal ethical question of, do I believe in this culture? Do I feel supported, acknowledged, respected, challenged? Do I have autonomy? Am I empowered? These all go into the cultural side of a team, and I, again, might accept less on the pay side if I'm getting more on one of these other components. So I urge you all to think about this for yourself and evaluate that for yourself and evaluate it for your teams. Have conversations with your teammates about what are you looking for. Not only how much do you want to get paid, we all want to get paid $1 gazillion. There's a lot more to the picture. It is 5:29. There's where you can find more, redslacks.com or successcoaching.co. Again, we're trying to wrestle away that .com from them, but we haven't got there yet. So those are the 2 sites where you can find me. Connect with me on social on Red Slacks. It's got links to everything. And I thank you all for bearing with me through 15 minutes. We are done.